Welcome to Pilar's Pillars, your audio and video access to interviews, communication techniques, insights, and information that will help you speak more and speak better. Now here's your host, Pilar Ortiz.
Hello and welcome. Today we have Dr. Rogelio Sáenz. He is a College of Public Policy Dean of the University of Texas in San Antonio. And thank you for being here. Welcome.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
And Dr. Rogelio, we are going to record different segments, different quantity of segments with an amazing topic. Latinos in the USA, Diversity and Change is the name of your most recent book. But tell me a little bit about you and your interest for researching and teaching about this topic.
Yes, so I was born in the border area in the deep South Texas, right on the Mexico-U.S. border in the area, a little town Mercedes, which is between McAllen and Brownsville. So that was the environment that I grew up. That it was very much where we were the majority population. We were about 90% of the 95% of the population. Spanish was the first language of most of us. Most people spoke Spanish or the mixture of the two, what is called the Spanglish. And at the same time, even though we were the largest group, we were always, we had some of the highest poverty rates in the country. So when I started my undergraduate training at Pan American University, and then I was trying to find out why it was that we were so poor and the future that was ahead of us. And then that's where I found the discipline of sociology. I started taking classes in sociology. And then I found also a class that was demography that really opened up the world for me, because a lot of the times we had been talking about the discrimination, the racism that existed in the border region. Nobody paid attention. They were saying, oh, these people have a chip on their shoulders or whatever, because they wanted to see what the evidence was. And I found demography represented a way of using census data to be able to describe and to document the inequality that existed.
And I had the opportunity to see you speaking in a wonderful event, and that's why I wanted to invite you here to share a little bit of that information, because there is so much misinformation that people really need to know where are we coming from.
Yeah.
Tell me about your book.
Yeah, this is a book that I really had in my mind that I wanted to do for a long time, and it goes back to those early times when I was a college student, undergraduate college student at Pan American University. And I remember going to there's something called Sociological Abstract that tells you all the articles in sociology that were written on a particular theme. And I would always go to the Mexican American. At that time, it was Mexican American. The term Hispanic was just coming into play. The Latino wasn't being used. And I would search, and there were 25 articles that were, so I knew everything about those 25 articles, who wrote them, everything that they had found, and every few months I'd go back and find new articles and things like that. And it just was how little information there was about the Mexicano population, Mexican American, Chicanos, Latinos. And then as I started, when I got my PhD, I continued doing my research on the Latino population, and in teaching, I would teach sociology of Mexican American, sociology of Latino classes, where many of my students, and many of those being also Latino students, had very little knowledge about the history and the trends of their own population, of our own history, because that isn't taught at the high schools in terms of history lessons or things like that. We're simply erased. We're not there. So this was something that was very important to me. And then I had gotten a call from someone at Polity Press in London that was asking me and was encouraging me to write this book. So I really jumped at that opportunity to put this together. So it's, in many ways, it's something that I always wanted to do, and I see it as one of these labor of love and it has been a book that, for the most part, there has not been a book written that has all these broad themes that are related to family, that are immigration, mass media, history, and so forth. For the most part, if you look at books on the Latino population, it deals with a particular theme, immigration, for example, and that's the entire book, or ethnic identity, or whatever the case is. But there were very few books that have treated all these different broad kind of themes and topics.
It's fascinating, and now we are going to have a little bit of all those topics in these mini segments that we are going to be presenting to our viewers on a weekly basis, or maybe twice a week. So let's get started. Thank you very much. Now we know a little bit more about you, and I'm looking forward to learn more about Latinos in the USA. Thank you.
Thank you.